Boys and girls, hey, how are you? It's Mr. Tom. I was just reading a book. Thanks for stopping in. Well, you know, we're talking about buildings. Our theme is the building theme. Buildings come in all different kind of shapes and sizes. Your home where you live, that's a building. The school where we used to go to, hopefully go again soon, that's a building. A building is something that protects people or things. A garage, that's a building that protects your car or your lawnmower, or maybe just a bunch of big tubs with stuff in it. Your house protects you, keeps you warm and safe. This is a building. Well, it's not a real building, it's a little cardboard model of a building. I sent, hopefully every one of you got one of these, or parts to make one of these, or something similar to this. This is a little representation of Mr. Tom's house, and it's pretty plain. I haven't decorated it yet, but we'll talk about that in another video, okay? Something to do with making this not so plain, but we'll get to that in a bit. Let me put that up here. But I wanted to read this book with you. It's called Build It from A to Z. Excuse me. And it uses the alphabet that we're familiar with to talk about things that have to do with buildings. A, B, C. That's called the alphabet. And we know that because we've talked about the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, since the beginning of school, right? A long time. And our alphabet song is what we sing when we're washing our hands. When we turn on the water, get some soap, wash our hands, we sing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to the end. And then we turn the water off and dry our hands off. So the alphabet song is pretty important. But before we read the book, I thought maybe we could sing the alphabet song together, and then I'll read the book to you, okay? So if you can, sing with me, please, okay? Ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Good job, boys and girls. You still remember it. I'm happy. Well, let's read our book here. It's called Build It from A to Z. A. A is for architect. An architect designs a building. How tall will it be? How wide? Will it be made of brick or concrete or wood? Where will the windows and doors go? She draws up plans called blueprints. All the answers are in the blueprints. What's that? B, right. Big B, little b. And B is for bulldozer. A bulldozer bustles back and forth to clear space for a new building. The bulldozer pushes dirt and debris away. Now that the land is cleared, the building can begin. C is for concrete. What's that stuff getting dumped out of the back of that truck? It's called concrete. That's what we make sidewalks out of. When it dries, it's usually kind of white looking, and it's really hard if you've ever skinned your knee on it. A concrete mixer churns as it combines cement, sand, tiny rocks, and water to make concrete. When the concrete is ready, it slides down the chute. The concrete will dry hard as stone. D is for dump truck. A dump truck delivers dirt, sand, or gravel for construction. The driver tilts the back and the load pours down. Dump trucks are kind of cool to watch them work, aren't they? E is for engineer. An engineer examines the plans for elevators, escalators, and electric lights. He makes sure everything in the building will work once it's built. F is for forklift. A forklift ferries weighty materials for construction. Its back end is heavy so that it doesn't tip over in front when it picks up a heavy load. What letter is that? G, right. G is for grader. A grader scrapes at the dirt. It goes over and over the area until the ground is level and smooth. The grader grumbles and growls loudly as it works. What letter? Right, H. H is for hard hat, and I is for inspector. That's an inspector, and she's wearing a hard hat. A building inspector wears a hard hat. She knows all the city's construction rules, and she inspects a building on the inside and out to see that the rules are followed. The hard hat keeps her head safe. You know, when you guys ride the scooters and the tricycles out on the playground, we have you wear a helmet. That also begins with H. Protects your head if you fall down. So that's what the hard hat's for. Because on a construction site, sometimes things are flying around and moving, and sometimes things fall. Well, what letter is that? J. That's right. J is for jigsaw, and that's what this man's using. It's a tool. A carpenter uses a jigsaw to cut shapes into wood. The saw has jagged teeth that jiggle up and down. Sawdust flies as the carpenter cuts out different shapes. That is a K. Right. A keep out sign tells people to stay away. Holes, falling objects, and big moving machines are just some of the dangers at a construction site. L is for ladder, and M is for mason. A mason climbs a long ladder to lay bricks for a tall wall. It takes many thousands of bricks to make a whole building. I think bricks are pretty. They're beautiful. What's that? What letter? Nyla and Namaya, do you know what letter that is? That's an N, right. Construction workers hammer nails all over a new building. Large nails hold the building's frame together. Smaller nails are used for jobs like window frames and shelves. That's an O. And that is a P, right. A painter wears overalls to protect his outer clothes from paint splatters. Often he's covered by paint by the end of the day. Covered by paint? Boys and girls, you guys wouldn't know anything about that, would you? When you go to the art center and say, Mr. Tom, I want to paint. And I say, okay, but you gotta wear a smock. Cover yourself up so you don't get paint all over yourself. O is for overalls. That's what he's wearing to cover his clothes up so the paint doesn't get on his clothes. And P is for painter, because that's what he is when he does that. He is a painter. He paints the building. Q. Q is for quarry. Stone comes from a quarry. Granite, marble, and limestone can be used in buildings. Workers take blocks or long slabs from the earth with big machines. A quarry is a noisy place. This is all stone, boys and girls. Like the stones you pick up and throw, sort of like that, but bigger. Much bigger. R is for roof. Every house has a roof on top. Some roofs are covered with shingles, others are made of metal, tile, fiberglass, or even rubber. But every house needs a roof. What does the roof do? If you remember from the other video that we had, a roof protects your house from the water. The water runs off the roof and doesn't get inside, because we don't want water inside our house. It's fun to watch on a rainy day, watch the rain fall outside of our house, but we don't want water falling inside of our house. S is for Saul. That's what he has there. T is for Miss Ty and Mr. Tom, right? But it's also for toolbox. A construction worker takes his toolbox to work every day. It holds saws, screwdrivers, screws, soldering iron, scissors, and much more. Everything he needs to do a terrific job. T is also for Talia. I forgot, sorry. U is for utility pole. A utility pole holds up phone and electric lines. Outside, the lines run from the pole to the building. Sometimes utility lines run underground instead. Now, we've all seen these poles, right? We call them telegraph poles or electric poles. But those poles keep wires that are kind of dangerous high off the ground so people don't touch them accidentally and get hurt. V is for varnish. If you have anything wood at home and it's shiny, that means it's protected. It has varnish on it. Painters may cover wood with varnish to make it very shiny. The varnish also protects the wood. While varnish is wet, it can smell like pine trees because it sometimes is made with pine tree resin. W is for wheelbarrow. A worker whisks a wheelbarrow around a construction site. He takes dirt, concrete, gravel, or sand wherever it is needed. A wheelbarrow. If you don't have a dump truck, boys and girls, and you got some muscles, a wheelbarrow is the next best thing. I've moved a lot of stuff with my wheelbarrow. Well, X is for excavation. Digging the hole for a building's foundation and basement is called excavation. An excavator scoops up the dirt and drops it into a dump truck. Y is for yellow, and that's what color that is. And Z is for zone, and that is a yellow construction zone sign. A construction zone sign is often yellow. The yellow color tells people nearby to be careful. Trucks, machines, and workers are always on the go. A construction zone is a busy place. So boys and girls, that is the whole alphabet. The whole alphabet from A to Z. And this is the book called Build It from A to Z by Trish Holland. It's a good book. It shows you a lot of the things that you need to do and that are included in the building, construction of a building. Well, Mr. Tom enjoyed reading this book to you, boys and girls. We had fun. We're going to have some more books coming up, so stay tuned. We'll read some more. I hope you're doing good at home. Hope you're listening to Mommy and Daddy and Auntie and Uncle and Grandma and Grandpa and whoever else is watching you. But remember, listen, okay? Listen to them and wash your hands. Sing the ABC song while you wash your hands, okay, boys and girls? Every time, if you can. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z. Sing that while you wash your hands, and that'll really help. Bye-bye, boys and girls.